So another thought is, if you're new to the channel, JetFixer broke some information. He has a little bit of an inside source, and he, back in, I believe in July, he was talking about how many of our items are kind of in the back end, not seen. So if you've ever felt like your items aren't being seen or your store's not being seen, that's not necessarily far from the truth. And it has to do with how Cassini ranks your items, whether it gives it a 0 or whether it gives it a 1. And I think 0 is good, 1 is bad. I can't remember. And as we mentioned, when that video broke, it wasn't long after that Josh Galt interviewed or spoke with somebody who actually used to work on Cassini, and kind of correlated a lot of the information, but went more in depth as to how Cassini categorizes that. I will link that. I will link my recap of, and if I can find that episode of Josh's. Actually, I think in my recap, I believe it links to Josh's episode, if I'm correctly. Because that was fascinating information that Josh unearthed and discovered about all the different things that go into determining whether your item is even relevant or if Cassini wants to push that. So what we're going to do is I'm going to go through as best I can, and if I missed anything, Jet, or if I said anything wrong, you had mentioned that you have more things, so the next time we talk, you can correct me, and we can move forward there. Greetings, fellow resellers. Welcome to hayfrosells. I am Hayfro, and I sell things, and I sold a lot this weekend. I'm not complaining. It was good. I was so busy. I wanted to make this video yesterday, but I didn't have time to really sit down, and I still haven't really, I've got notes from the conversation that I'm going to talk about. But it's like Cassini opened the floodgates. Cassini being the eBay algorithm, if you're living under a rock and you don't know that it has a name. It has a name. And it's like it parted the retailer seas. Impressions were at all-time highs. I don't know if anybody's checked your impression dashboard. My impressions were sky high. I know another viewer out there, Nash, he sent me his screenshot, and his was super high, and he proclaimed the fourth quarter is here. Nash said that. And it's like Cassini brought the buyers to us. It was like, now is the time to buy. The earnings report is going to suck, so we need to generate revenue. And even though it's not going to matter because those results are already tallied, we need to start thinking about the future. And I joke about Cassini, right? But Cassini is not really our friends. It's they, whatever you want to call it, it is there to make eBay money. And that's okay. That's fine. It is what it is. But Cassini is not our friend. Sometimes our best interests align with Cassini's best interests, but other times it doesn't. Cassini might be showing a little bit cheaper of the same item on your page, and it might want the buyer to buy that one because they're promoting at a higher rate. They want that sale. Your sale can wait. They want that sale. Other times, Cassini is, finding buyers for our items. But what we're going to talk about today is how to trick Cassini, how to beat Cassini at its own game, how to think like Cassini, I guess, because it really is just, it's a machine, it's an algorithm that was created by humans. It's just numbers. And the information that I'm going to be sharing with you is from a conversation that I had with a viewer named JetFixer. I'm going to just call him Jet from now on. So if you're watching, Jet, thanks for this information, and thanks for being generous about wanting me to share it. You could have just kept all this to yourself and nobody would blame you. But the fact that, you expressly said, do with it what you want, share it, don't share it. Of course I'm going to share it. That's what I do. I share things. And it's very unorthodox hacks, I guess you want to call some of them, strategies, and they are obscure. And I haven't had the opportunity. I just got this information on Thursday, and I have just been slammed with work, with life, things going on. And yeah, I haven't had the time to really implement. Some of these you might already do. Some of these might be obvious. Some of these might be like, are you kidding me? Like, some of these you'll laugh at, some of these you'll mock, some of these you might think there could be no possible relevance or truth to anything like this. But Jet has, we talked. He explained to me the size of his store, and he's been selling a long time, and he showed me some of his numbers, and the guy gets sales relative to the size of his store, and I believe him. And the problem too, and he acknowledges this, is that we are all doing testing, we are all trying things, we're running sales, we're sending out offers, we're running coupons, we're doing the eBay reset, we're doing all kinds of things. So it's kind of hard to determine if you take some of these strategies and add them, it's going to be kind of hard to tell, to really know what works and what don't work. Because everybody's accounts are a little bit different. It's almost like we need to have like a legitimate experiment. Like, I was thinking about this, like a case study where we have like different control groups. I mean, that's a bit much, right? I mean, it's not really something that I want to do, but it would be kind of interesting if you think about it. If we had like 10 people doing this and 10 people doing that, but like I said, it's not really something that I want to do. I just had that thought. So one of the concepts that Jet wants to stress is the concept of revolving scenarios. And what that means is that sometimes a strategy will work and other times it won't. Sometimes it'll be effective for a week, a month, 3 months, 5 months, and then it won't. And I think that's the environment that people were kind of, not having good results with, and so similar. And that's why a lot of people were saying, the algorithm changed. It no longer registers as a fresh, unique new listing. So there's no point in doing it. And I think we've dispelled that myth. In fact, I want to read a quick email that I got today or yesterday from a viewer. And he says, I recently came across your YouTube video regarding slow sales and store resets. Recently, my sales have been very unpredictable, even though I've been extremely active with new listings. Yesterday, Saturday, November 4th, there was literally no activity. I decided after watching your video to reset most of my store, except items newly listed within the past week. I ended and sold similar, almost 600 listings within an hour. I noticed activity. By the end of the day, I had more sales in a single day than I've had for months. If you look at the attached graph, it shows page views and the increase. I ended the day with 11 total sales. Thanks. And then there's other people who do it one time, get results, and then they do it again, and it's muted results. So I think the bottom line is you just kind of have to, you can't expect the same result all the time. I've done it, and the results have been muted, but then I'll do it again, and the results will be blockbuster. Like this weekend has just been phenomenal. And maybe that's just coinciding with the fourth quarter. The Cassini floodgates are open. Let me know in the comments if other people out there are having an increase in sales this weekend, or was it just me and Nash and this viewer? It's just us three. We got all the sales this weekend. But revolving scenarios, that's important to keep in mind. It's important to keep in mind as you try or don't try some of these scenarios. So, all right. So the first concept that he mentioned to me is he was talking about, you know, he knew that I had changed. He knew my handling time, and I told him that I had changed it from 3 days to 2 days. And he said, there's really no point. There's really no difference in 3 or 2. There's only a difference in 1 and same day, which pretty obvious. I didn't expect there to be really no difference between 3 and 2. So if you're gonna do 2, you might as well do 3 to give yourself more handling time and not be, if you want, you do whatever you want. Everybody's business is completely different. I am not here to ever tell anybody how to run their business. I am here apparently for lots of people to tell me how to run my business, but that's another story. Okay, so you know when you log in to your seller dashboard and the seller hub, and you have the little bell icon in the top right. When you get a notification, there's a little number there, and if you have 2 or 3 notifications, there'll be a number there. That should never have an accumulation of little numbers. It should always be reset, clean dashboard. Number 1, that apparently is very important. And I mean, I never have anything there, because as soon as somebody messages me, or as soon as, you know, there's a message or an offer or a sale or whatever, I address it. I've always done that. I don't like having things open. I don't like having stuff on my desk that I need to work on. So apparently that having that clean dashboard and is extremely important in Cassini's eyes. It really makes you stand out. The next concept is Cassini likes prime numbers. I mean, he is an algorithm. I mean, lots of people like prime rib. Cassini likes prime numbers. So how you can use that is, let's say you have a multi-quantity listing. And so prime numbers are a whole number greater than 1 whose only factors are 1 and itself. So for example, 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, 13, 17, 19, etc. So let's say you have a multi-quantity listing and you've got 6 of them. Just say you've got 5, you know, and if you want, try it and see what happens. But just always keep in the back of your mind that Cassini likes prime numbers. Do with that what you want. All right, pictures. So, you know, however many pictures that you use, the first picture that you have, if you want, now this is going to entail another step, another extra little step in your whole process. I don't like adding things to my own processes, but this isn't the first time I've heard of this concept, and I believe it's called like meta tags or something like that. But basically, whatever the first picture, the main picture, instead of having the name of that be like mine is, what is it? Like, I'll tell you in a second. So they're like image, IMG dash, and then their numbers. So instead of it being that, he explained it to me like if I have a Batman comic that I'm listing, change it to Batman comic. You know, because we all know that when we take pictures and we upload them on eBay, they become property of eBay. And apparently there's something in that where, you know, maybe it helps you better in search, or it does something. So don't change everyone. That would be way too much work. But if you want, if you want to try this, and I should state here now the obvious, but if people try things in here in these experiments, please report back. It would be tremendous help for the community. I, for one, am interested to see how this information is received and how people run with it, don't run with it, do different variations, and change things and you know, experiment, right? I'll give you an example of what I mean. Well, yeah, okay. I'll tell you in a second. So wait, where are we at here? Change the listing, change the name, make it whatever it is, like what your object or whatever it is you're selling. So for example, what I mean by variation. So he said, and I do need to actually comment on this because, so he said, there's no difference between 3 and 2. If you want to get any boost in the Cassini algorithm, it's got to be 1 or 0 days. So that got me thinking about my own listings and how I was at 2 days. And then I shared with you guys a thought the other day that if at 1 past midnight on Thursday night, so basically Friday morning, if you wanted to, you could change your listings from whatever your handling time is to 1, and you could let that run all the way through the weekend, knowing that you're going to probably do a shipment on Monday. Then you could change it back on Sunday. So if you wanted to, you could capitalize on trying to get that boost from Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Now, we ran into a little bit of a snag with that. So I do want to share with you guys, I don't know if anybody did it, but that might not be a valid strategy, and here's why. When you change your handling time, if you have any open offers out, and I'm hoping I'm doing a good enough job to explain this. I hope this is how, I hope I'm understanding it correctly. Something happened. I think if you have any open offers out there, it creates a duplicate business policy with the same exact information for that shipping policy of the original. And then when you go to change your shipping policy back to whatever handling time you wanted, you run into a little bit of a problem. Jack and I, we were on the phone last night and we were like, what is going on? Why can't we? He was like, why can't we change our business policies back to the handling time? So I don't know if anybody did it. Yeah, I don't think that, I don't really want to deal with that. I don't want to deal with the hassle of, you know, I thought it would be just, you know, couple clicks from 3 to 1 day or 2 to 1 day, whatever my policy was on whichever account I was using. But having those open offers out there, yeah, it's going to be a pain. But the point is that I took something that Jet said about the business policy or the shipping handling times, and then it got me thinking. It got me thinking about how can I massage my business policies without having them always be, you know, 1 day or same day. So that was just the story that I wanted to tell. So to add one more thought about the changing the title of the main picture, he says that it reassigns it and it reinforces the relevance of the item that you're selling. Does it? I don't know. I haven't tried it, but he did. Like I said, he did show me his sales, and I believe him. Okay, the next one is a tough one. He is basically saying you should never do promoted listings. He says it takes, you know, when you stop, it takes 3 days to really 72 hours to get out of it, and then after that you should see a sales increase. Now, for one, I would only try that if whatever you're doing now is not working. If whatever you're doing right now is working and you're seeing sales and you're seeing results, I myself would have a hard time just saying no. I don't promote at a high rate, but I also feel that every time I've gotten out of promoted listings, my sales have just tanked. And I've talked with others who have done that. I've also talked with others who have had success, and they said, and they swear by it, not promoting. So again, this is kind of like everyone's right. Like the people who have gotten out of promoted listings and they're seeing success, they are right. The people who have tried it, quit promoted listings, saw their sales tank. Okay, let me just try to remember where I was. 30 minutes have gone by. Thank you, Primo Chemo, for calling me. We're trying to sort through some technical difficulties, and we're trying to figure out how to do a live one of these days. Anyhow, back to the item. So promoted listings, you got to do whatever is best for you. Many people swear by taking them off. Other people swear that you need to use them. And I think it really comes down to an experiment thing. So yeah, you do whatever's best for you. All right. So the next little hack is, so this is a scroll bar. When you go to sleep, see how when you put your cursor right here, when you put your cursor on it, it lights up. So just when you go to sleep, put your mouse there. Cassini will think you're active on the site. It's possible it might throw you some sales, provided you have a clean dashboard and you're doing all the things. You're doing all the things. This is what it's all about. It's about what's he call them? Side door strategies. Everything that I'm sharing with you, he calls a side door strategy. And it's going to be hard to tell which one is more effective than the other one. It's almost impossible. I mean, if you're just doing them all, you're never going to know which one is working. But it's doing the most amount of things to give yourself an edge, to give Cassini reasons to promote your store, your items, your listings. So yeah, all right. So the next one is you're on your Seller Hub, and you see here where it says comments, right? So you're on your main Seller Hub page. You want to click comments. This is the one that just had me almost in tears laughing, because not only is Cassini the epitome of corporate greed, it is a narcissist. Let me explain. All right, so this is what he told me to do. Sorry, I don't know why there's some glare. So this is what he told me to do. He does this once a week. He clicks, extremely satisfied. What do you like most about the Seller Hub? You love everything. You love it. But you skip over that. You don't put I don't like anything. Tell us more. So I don't know if I can type. I'm not going to type it out because it's going to be too hard, because I have like a stand in front of me and I want you to be able to see the screen. But this is exactly word for word what he types in there. Everything is great. Please don't change a thing. The page is very easy to navigate. Thank you. And he scrolls down and he selects does he do this? Least like, tell us more. I believe he selects other, and I believe he puts pretty much the same message in here. Again, the algorithm loves to hear the word great. It loves to think that everything that it's doing is perfect. And if you and then you go down and you type in your email and you click send, and you do that once a week, and you get, in theory, you get a bump because you are telling the algorithm exactly what it wants to hear. Okay, this is, let me come back on cam. All right, so this next one has to do with feedback. So he recommends to always leave feedback manually. Now, I have it set up to be automated, as I'm sure many of you do as well. He says to leave feedback manually and to always wait for the buyer to leave feedback first, and then go in and manually input something to the, something like, always say great transaction, everything is great, or something along those lines that talks about how great eBay is, how great the experience was. And then he says that any feedback that they haven't left that are, say, over a month, go in, select all, and then leave feedback bulk. And he says every time he does that, he gets sales. Play around with that. It's activity. It's manual activity on your account. Everybody always talks about how, run sales, do all these different things to have your account seem active. These are all additional off-the-wall things that you can do to have an active account. Show the Cassini that you're on your account and that you're, everything's great. Everything's great. Oh my goodness. We had a good laugh over that. Now this next strategy, this is like next level. He recommends every once in a while, for 10 minutes, go shopping for a Rolex. Pick one. Save one to your watch list. And it doesn't have to be a Rolex, but something very, very expensive. But really spend some time looking around. Make that algorithm think that you are in the market to buy something very expensive. Everybody always talks how we get thrown a few sales right around the time when subscriptions are coming due. Well, imagine if Cassini thinks that you're going to be going out and buying something extremely expensive. Ask them a question. Send a message to that particular buyer. Make sure it's like over $5,000. Click on a couple different ones. Shop around. Compare. Get very familiar. Pick something very expensive, and then every once in a while switch it off to something else. Make sure to save. Yeah. Sorry, I'm trying to read my own notes. It was such an interesting conversation. I was having so much fun. I feel like I didn't do a good enough job taking notes, but you get the gist of that particular hack. Okay, we're almost finished. Got a couple more. One more. So he said, he made the joke that now he is looking at whole house air conditioning units because he probably figures he's looked at Rolex watches so often. Cassini's probably like, oh, he's never going to buy a Rolex watch. And so just like you want to keep a clean dashboard on your desktop, you also want to keep that clean dashboard on your phone all the time. You always want that dot. You don't ever want your phone to have that like a message. And if you think about it, we literally have gotten emails from eBay saying that they are doing studies now on how fast people respond. So they're in a beta testing phase to see how quick people respond to messages. I believe Amazon does it, and that could be a statistic or a data measure that they use to rank buyers. This buyer responds in such amount of time. It's annoying, in my opinion. Like, they just have us jumping through. I hate all the hoops that we have to jump through. When to list your items. He says that the best time to have your items, new listings, go live are between 6 a.m. and 12 Pacific Standard Time. He believes that Cassini is refreshed sometime before that, and that it's ready to go. And so, you know, they used to. He explained to me, and I'm not familiar with like scheduled listings, but he said that used to be like something that they charged you, and now so if you're not awake during that period in time, or you're not able to do it, you can schedule your listings to go off between that time. But he says that between 6 a.m. and 12 is the best time to have your listings go live. And then I guess the only other thing that he mentioned is if you claim your account as a business, you are in a higher tier, and you're in a higher tier that is most likely to get more business, and that actually came from a Business Insider. All right, guys, that's all I got for you. You have officially taken the eBay Matrix Red Pill, and I hope that you found these side door strategies interesting, and do with them what you want. And if you've got questions, so what I was thinking, Jet, is if you want to leave a comment below, I will pin it at the top, and then people, if they have questions, comments, if you want, you don't have to leave a comment. I was just thinking that would be the easiest way to keep it centralized so everyone can see, so there would be one long thread there. Otherwise, you know, maybe as people leave questions, I'll write them down, and then the next time we talk, we can go over that. But like I said, I hope you guys enjoy this. It certainly gives you some things to think about. I don't think too many people talk about some of the strategies here that Jet has brought to us, and I want to thank him for contacting me, and I want to thank you guys for watching. If you're still here and you like this and you want to hear more, do all that thing and feed that YouTube algorithm, guys. You know what to do. Take care, and hope you guys are having killer sales like I did this weekend. Cheers.